Good afternoon. Well, good morning, guys. Still morning. Yeah. So I'm gonna go over the trade recap for today, the 22nd of January 2019. It's 11 o'clock. I decided I'll go ahead and end the trading day today. Why is this red here? I don't know. But anyway, um, I am green gross in the gross, $8. However, after commissions, it's down $40.25. So I say I'm not gonna go under $600. So I'm gonna end it today. I'm gonna end it there. I don't want to trade anymore to try to get out of it. I'll wait till tomorrow to do that. I mean, the good news is I am green without commissions, so that means I did something right. But the bad news is, you have to factor everything. You have to factor in commissions when you make a trade. So it's still a loser if your net is down. I don't care what every other number is. If the net is down, that's what it really is. But it is a glimmer of hope that I was in the positive. But I will say this. Let me go over the trades. One of those trades, man, is what really kind of set me back, and I'll tell you exactly what happened. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and start with the first trade I took on STAF. Actually, that first trade was a winner. The first trade, as you can see, I bought at 306. This was pre-market 9:12 in the morning. I got out 6 minutes later at 9:18 with a 6 cent gain. I actually had a 6 cent gain on STAF for my very first trade. Now, I should have held it a little longer. I would have capitalized about 15, 20 more cent. If you see here, it got up to at 9:22. It got up to over $3.30, and I actually got out at 3:12. So would have been like 18 more cent, 20 more cent profit I left on the table. But it was a winner. And basically, what it was is I saw the momentum on it. It was a gapper on good news. So I just bought the dip basically. Bought it down at 306. Down here in this area. Remember again, guys, those the whole dollar areas are areas that are mental resistance. So I actually kind of waited for it to get over three and then get over three by a little bit, not just at 301 or 302. I wanted to see some strength that it was gonna, continue heading. That was gonna continue breaking through the $3 and not get rubber band back, snap back to the $3. So it did actually continue. I actually got out. Where did I get out at the 18, 918 on this drop down here? I wanted it to hold this 313 area, which was starting to become a small micro support. And then also I saw this prior resistance here at 318. So I saw how it was reacting there. So that's what made me get out. And hindsight is 2020. If I held, it would have been a couple more cent. But if you look at it from my perspective here, back here, it looked at this point seemed to be a pretty, as you can see, look at the chart over here. It hit here. Actually, let me make a drawing just to make it more clear to you guys. This point it kept coming up to, dropping back. It came down, hit the VWAP, hit it, dropped down. Came up, hit it again, drop back. Hit it again, drop back. So when it hit it this time, and it didn't seem like it can go get over it, that's what made me get out. But it did end up going over. All right, now this next trade that I took was another trade on ST. I'll tell you no lie. I'm not one for excuses, but I took this trade. What happened was a guy, I run a business, I run a couple businesses. So a client called me at 9:25, 9:25 or 9:26, and I'm like, oh, I really kind of didn't want to answer it, but business is business, so I have to take care of business first. And I said, well, the call may only last 1 or 2 minutes. It's 9:26, 9:25. I'll have a time to try to, handle this business and have time for the opening bell. But it didn't go that way. So I ended up on the phone um, after as the bell was ringing and through the bell, and I'm trying to look at stocks, but I'm on the phone handling that business. So it's like, and that reminds me why I don't stream live, because things, you have to be focused, man. When you got five things on your mind at one time while you're trying to trade, that's not the best mindset to be in. So anyway, I'm on the phone. That's still no excuse. I didn't have to get in this trade, but I wouldn't. I knew I wouldn't have took this trade. And then if you look, all my other trades are 300 shares. You know, I have the hotkey for 300, 500. Well, you can tell I had to been distracted because I picked 500. I wouldn't have picked 500. I would have picked 300. And if I had to add somewhere, I would have added the extra 200. So this right here should tell you, something was up. All of his other trades is 300 shares, and this particular one is 500. I hit the wrong hotkey because I was on the phone and I'm just trying to get into stock. But anyway, it was 9:30. I got in. Yeah, 9:30 and 29 seconds. So it popped up. Wait, hold on. Where did I get in? At $3. Let me see. 311. Got in at 311. So I caught it when it was starting to come back down here. It did go up to 345, but I caught it down here as it was coming back down. I got out in that same minute. So all of this happened in the course of 1 minute. In that same minute, and I took a 11-cent loss. Yeah, and definitely won't do that again. But that happens a couple of times. Funny because I get, it's not all the time, but every now and then get a call, or someone calls, checks, somebody's just calling to check on me, or either a business call, and it's usually around that time. Like, I guess that's when everybody's getting up or just getting going or just reached their job. I don't know what it is, but anyway, that's what happens today. And that's not an excuse. I still didn't have to take that trade while I was on the phone. I could have. That's what I should have did, is waited till I got off the phone. But what it was I was researching. Once you've put in a little time, researching the stock or a play, and you got a plan together. I wanted to execute my plan. And it's like, you hate to have that, all that time spent just go out of the window. That's what I think it happens in my mind. But that's neither here nor there. That's not an excuse. I lost 11 cent on that trade, and it was 500 shares. I don't know why I picked 500 instead of three, but anyway, 11 cent, that was like 50. What is it? $55. $55 loss. So I was up with 306. I was up like freaking, after it was like 18 or $19. Then after commission it was like $6. I was up like $6 in a positive. Then this trade brought me back down to like negative $37 in the negative. But then I had another winning trade here. I got 20 cents on my next trade, MDWD. And this is another thing. I let it go too early. That's one thing I got to work on. My winners, I got to let them run, man, because I picked some winners. Trust me. I got in at 4.95 at 9:55 in the morning. 9:55 and 57 seconds. I got out 5 minutes later for a 20 cent. I bought it and then I sold it for 20-cent gain at 10 o'clock on the dot. Now you see the reason why I sold. If you can see here, the VWAP is right here, so I kind of was just playing it cautious and just taking profit. Now, had I would have had a larger position, maybe 1,000 shares, 5,000 shares, whatever, then I would just take some off. I wouldn't take the whole trade off. I would take a portion of it, a half of it off, and then just let my break even be where I entered. Um, However, when you're playing with such small size, 300 shares, you can't really afford to just sell half, because then you're not really making anything. After commissions, it's gonna eat up whatever little profit you made. So I just sold the whole thing here. As you can see, it popped up and then it came back, faded to the VWAP. So that was my thinking there. You could actually see my thinking on the chart. There's the thinking process. You see the VWAP. You see it was 10 o'clock. You see it was 10 o'clock here. That's why I sold. But if had I would have held, which is always, we all could say that all the time, right? Man, I lost out on like, what is it? 4.95. I didn't even realize it got up to $6. A whole and I got out at 5.15. So I lost out on a good freaking 85, 90 cents, 90 cents, almost a dollar, yo. So anyway, that would have been $300. I left $300 on the table, So, but the thing is, I picked the right play. Um, my reasoning behind it, it did gap up in the pre-market, so it had to be I just thought to myself, it had to be a good reason for that. And then it just faded, so I just figured, it can't, but it was a reason that it went up. I don't know the reason. I didn't know at that time anyway. So I was just trying to look for a opportunity to go long, and I found one. I rode it up to the VWAP and got out. So I got 20 cent there. As you can see, that's the trade that I got $60 on because it was 20 cent at 300 shares, $60 win. Staff, I actually was in the green, but then it went back red because of that second trade, which I shouldn't, which I was on the while I was on the phone. This trade here, so that went down 30. So I was actually up. What is it? Like $23, but I was up $23 on this side, but then on the profit loss side, net profit loss, it was like negative $13. So in my mind, I'm just trying to get back green on a day. So I'm green here, but I wasn't green here. So I'm just trying to get this green. So I took a ill-advised trade on TELL. Um, so I took a total of one, two, three, four trades a day. Total four trades, two winners, two losers. So 50% on the day. One of those trades, I gotta count them all, but I will say I wouldn't have taken it if I wasn't on the phone. So without that one, I would probably be up on a day, but that's neither here nor there. This trade was ill-advised. I shouldn't have took it. With TELL here, that was the only reason I took it is just to try to get back, get this portion green. This is still green. My realize is still green, so that means I'm doing something right. But anyway, it's at the 200 day. That's a dead giveaway. That it's not a play to play. And I know this. I know better. I know better. Lord knows I know better. I've been doing this long enough to know that. I just sometimes get hard headed. But anyway, I'm gonna cut it short. I know it's I don't want to run on and on and on. It's 11 minutes into this video, but I will say I am up gross $8. So that means I've done something right. And then if you want to count it by cents, I am up. I got 6 cents on this trade. I got 20 cent on this trade. So I was up 26 cent. Then I went down 11 cent, and then I went down five 5 cent here. So 26 cent gain and 16 cent loss. So that's a little almost one. It's 1 to 1. I'm trying to get it back to 2 to 1. So that was 26 cent gain I had total on the day, and then a 16 cent loss total on the day. So that's you have to factor in all your metrics when you're logging your performance. That's how you get better. You have to know the numbers and know so that way you know where to get better. But cent wise, I did good. I was up 26 cent, down 16 cents. So I kept my losers short. I'm proud of that. As you can see, $15, $37 loss, but then my winner was 60. So that's almost 2 to 1. If you look at each one, because this was 37 and this was 60, so it's basically 2 to 1. But when you factor in commissions, that wipes all of that out. But I am proud of that fact. But I will be back at it tomorrow. I just want to stop at 40 because I want to just keep it over that. That 600 looks real nice. I don't want to go back into the fives. So I said, let me just stop here. $40, not bad for four trades. Lord knows how we all know how easy it is to lose. Very quickly, a whole lot of money. So for it to be four trades and just $40, but actually $8 ahead, I say I'm moving up. But all right, guys, I don't want to run on and on. That's the recap for the day, and I will be back first thing tomorrow morning. I saw some good trades this morning. One or two of them. I think. Let me see here. One or two of them had a short sale restriction. I remember that. Uh, AUPH. That's not the best stock to play, but I would have gotten in up here at the. I think it was at the 730 area or somewhere around there. Yeah, it was around 7:30 is when I noticed it here. But I tried to get in, but it wouldn't allow me to get in. It says short sale restriction. Here you go. I'll let you see it. Short sale restriction on this symbol. Shorting on the bid is prohibited. So you have to short on the ask. If a stock is just going straight down, you're not going to get it. But now if a stock's going up, how it just did there, you would have got in at when this was on when the 716 was just over here. But I wasn't able to get in, so I would have had another winning trade. But it's woulda, coulda, shoulda. You can't live off of that. You got to live off of the facts and what's happening. You know what I mean? If we all lived off of that, we'll be in paradise. All right, guys. I will be back tomorrow. If you like the content, go ahead and like and subscribe. Be back first thing tomorrow. Take care.